Hi everybody! Today, yes, I'm always in a good mood. That's okay. Hi everybody! Now, I have story number... Just a minute, I think it's story number 3, yes. Okay. With Thy Light. That's a song I wrote in 1988. Heavenly Father, we think of Thee in every day, though this is a song Marnie loves. We must pray and read humbly so our hearts will be pure with Thy light, with Thy light. Then matters we will have. Heavenly Father, we think of Thee, and every day we must look to the heavens and be grateful, yes, grateful, for Thy light through our sorrows and our pain. From the lessons our teachers teach us, we will merge the victory. Though mysterious, Thy light is working in this world of sin and pain. So we look to Thee and remember, Thou will light the way. And here I have, let me sit back and get comfortable with, here we are again with our little stuffy owls. Let's get nice and comfortable, everybody. Now, I have the story that I wrote, I wrote the story in 2008, kind of very close to the second one. Once upon a time, there was a boy named Chance. Every day he helped his father work in the coal mines of Nova Scotia. Chance grew up with many a drinking man around him. Today, it's his 17th birthday, and he's looking forward to a big celebration. And the coal mines are dark and dirty, and every worker must wear a hard hat with light on it. Just imagine, Chance attended Sunday school church all his life, but since he started work and other activities, he often missed worship. Happens to a lot of our sons. Chance began drinking alcohol himself, and he left his faith behind. Oh, I'm glad that didn't happen to our son. Anyway, but it happens to a lot. Anyways, it was not a priority. He could rely on his own strength. On his birthday, the mine collapsed with all the men inside underground. And we actually lived in Nova Scotia when there was a big explosion in one of the mines, killed a lot of men. I remember standing in my kitchen feeling that explosion that day. Not very happy thing that happened in our community. So of course, being 17 years old, he wanted to rely on his own strength. And that's kind of why we're here, so we can have our agency and learn by experience, learn by trial and error. Heavenly Father knew that would be the best way for us to learn, actually. On his birthday, the mine collapsed with all the men inside underground. The little train carts were off the tracks and there was no way out. Chance saw his whole life flash before him. He saw some workers laying dead from the rocks and dirt, crushing them. Days later, okay, let me catch my emotions here. Okay. Days later, Chance heard that the cause of the collapse was from human fault. The workers leading were drinking and not wearing helmets with lights, and they were singing happy birthday to Chance with no regard for safety. Chance lit up a smoke, and he had got away with it many times before, but this time his chances ran out. Chance was devastated. He had caused their deaths. Chance started to take stock of his life. He realized that even though he had all the pleasures of life and felt like he belonged, he was aware that just like the darkness in the coal mine pits, the world can be a very dreary place. His relationship with his girlfriend was very rocky, and he was now starkly aware that even though he appeared to be with it, he had no sure foundation at all. He took a truthful look at his buddies too, and he saw men relying only on themselves, even at an older age. They were struggling in the dark without hard helmets, without lights, and giving themselves pleasures to cover their despair, not knowing the end thereof. After 3 years in jail for negligence in the death of his co-workers, Chance went to work, a grateful man. On his 24th birthday, he put on the helmet of his Lord, promising to go forth with thy light. So what matters he will have? With thy light